Well, boys, back out here. The RX-7's done, 100% ready. I put out a short. I don't know how many of my subscribers seen it. The last video I put out, I was panicking and thought that I had a horrible electrical problem and was asking you guys for help. And I figured it out. It wasn't that big of a deal. A couple of you guys said check the relays. I did that. It wasn't that. Then I just started checking fuses. And as soon as I took the AC fuse out, everything turned off. And then I found out that the AC wires weren't connected, but they were also touching each other and they were grounding out. So it was getting constant 12. It was on the whole time. So I fixed that. I plugged them back in. I made sure they weren't chafed anywhere, and everything shut off. And that solenoid that was ticking turns on when the AC is on to tell the fuel pump to give it more fuel when it's under load. So that's why that solenoid was ticking back and forth. But it's all good. I've been dailying it. I've put a couple hundred miles on it the past couple days. It's ready to go. Things are beautiful. It's 100% ready. I'm going to take it out, show you guys that it starts right up, runs and drives perfectly. Kind of cleaned up the interior. It could use a good detail. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I mean, it could use, if you want this to be 100% perfect, it could use a $200 paint correction and a ceramic coat. But besides that, this thing's ready. There's no rust anywhere on it. Brakes are fixed. This emergency brake on this car is like a corkscrew. So when you pull the emergency brake up, it screws the caliper tighter. So the 3000 GT, the emergency brake is shoes on the inside of the rotors. So you can't really see them. When you pull it, it's just like shoe brakes, but on the inside of the rotors. This is hooked up to the same caliper on the rotors. And when you pull it, it's a corkscrew and it turns out, and that's what holds it tight. Well, it sat for 3-4 years with the emergency brake on probably, and that side back there just seized up and wouldn't go back in, so I had to rebuild the caliper. This door handle was a little cracked and it was loose, so I replaced it with a brand new OEM one from Mazda. It's 100% ready. I really don't want to sell the car now that I've been driving it, but I got other plans. I got to sell the car. I want to finish up the 3000 GT. I got a couple more surprises for that I haven't really talked about. And I want a single turbo with the 93. If you don't know, this is the 95 RX7. I also have a 93. But this thing is super rare and it would be great for a collector. 100% stock, 100% ready to go. But yeah, there you go. Let's fire it up and take it out. Fire's right up, idle's right down. I got a little bit of pre-mix in there, just a little tiny bit, because the oil metering pump is still hooked up. So if you don't know, a rotary is pretty much like a 2-stroke engine. So there's an oil metering pump that uses the engine oil and sprays it into the rotor housings, which is like a cylinder. Well, a lot of people delete that because the oil metering pump goes bad. It also doesn't put enough oil in there. It also reuses dirty motor oil. They'll delete that like I did on the 93 and run premix. But I wanted to keep this 100% stock. So the oil meter pump is still hooked up, and I put 6 ounces of premix in a full tank. Rotors are all cleaned up. There's no wobble in the brake pedal. There's no fluttering. The alignment's good. This thing is like a brand new car still. And there's 73,000 miles on the car. But the engine and transmission was just rebuilt 200 miles ago. I love the way this smells. It's premix. Reminds you of a dirt bike. I'm sure my normal subscribers are tired of seeing RX-7 content, especially since it's not real content. I'm not really doing videos on how-to or anything. I'm getting back to this. I promise, I promise, I promise. I just need to sell this. So if for some reason you're new to the channel, I've been restoring this, completely rebuilt everything myself. It's all on my channel. Go check it out if you want to. I've walked you guys through everything from pistons, rods, bearings, rings, everything. I painted the engine bay, painted all the brackets, ran all new brake lines. Just every little nut and bolt has been done in that car. And I also have walked you guys through tuning here and there with the AEM. Alright, let this thing warm up. I'll see you in the car. Dude, this car is so much nicer without that brake caliper holding up. Imagine that. I just actually love the stock twin turbo setup, the sequential turbos. Like, it's just such a great feeling that like one kicks in like right now and then another one kicks in at like 6. And like you can hear them open up and stuff. I'm sure the mic's not picking it up, but like you can hear the turbos moving around. I love this car. Should just keep it. But I got other plans. Everything works on this car. It's like going back to 95. It's like the day it left the dealership. Dude, it's just those turbos, man. Right there. You just stay around $4 grand, it's right there ready for you. You punch it, that turbo's spooled up, ready to go. And right now I'm just babying it, just letting everything get all nice and warmed up. But rotaries like to be revved out. Like, even when you bought this car brand new, I'm pretty sure in the owner's manual, Mazda tells you to hit red line at least once every drive, because it clears everything out. Usually I cruise around like 5K in my 93, because that's where it wants to be at. It's where it's happy. Dude, these turbos work amazing. They're brand new turbos. And the response, I got the throttle cable nice and tight. Perfect. The throttle response on this is great. I mean, you got 3, if you don't know, there's 3 flaps, 3 butterfly flaps on a rotary. They just snap open. It's got great oil pressure. Every time you hit the throttle, it goes up. I'm up at like 5K right now. Let me slow down. Show you that the oil pressure goes down, goes up. That's like the biggest thing on a rotary is oil pressure. I love this car, man. This thing is so clean too. Look at this. Your oil pressure is right around 50 to 55 at idle. It's right around 100 PSI at 45. I love this car, man. I've only put a couple hundred miles on it since I've gotten it back. And I'm telling you, man, you just gotta drive it. If you're interested in it, hit me up. I can't just let every 16-year-old kid that wants to drive it, so please don't be that person. Please actually be interested in it. But I'm telling you, as soon as you drive this car, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, this is like if you would drive off the lot in 95. Everything is so tight. I know I'm gonna regret selling it, because in 5 years, it'll probably be like 150K. I can't get over how nice these front brakes are. The brakes stop like really good for like how small they look. I mean, the car is super light. So like you got small brakes on here, but they stop on a dime. Alright boys, well there she is. My one buddy put it up on his Facebook, on Facebook Marketplace for $65. I've had like 11 people reach out to me that are coming to look at it here in the next couple days. So if you're interested in it, let me know. Or even if you can sell it, if you know somebody, you want to broker it, I'll throw you a couple grand for selling it. I'm not greedy. I don't need to make every last penny off this car. But, I mean, let's be realistic. This car is worth 80. If those other two sold for, you know, 78, I think it was, and the other one was 81, this car's worth 80 all day. It's probably in better condition than the one that sold for 81. Alright, boys, I will see you in the next one. If you made it this far, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. We will be getting back to the 3000 GT, and we will be single turboing the 93 RX7. See ya.